promise I am not actually this bad. Good morning, good afternoon, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. This is a video I've been thinking about making for a long time. I've been kind of like nervous about making it because I kept thinking to myself, oh, my room ain't that nice. I should have an entire mansion to show. I'm missing this piece of furniture. I'm missing this plant. I don't have enough artwork on the walls. This is held up with literal duct tape. You just can't see it. I decided I'm gonna just go ahead and make the freaking video because who gives a crap? We can always make an updated room tour at a later date, or apartment tour, whatever the freak. Anyways, I just wanted to give y'all like a real quick room tour just to kind of show y'all like, you know, where the magic happens. The art and plants, I mean. So this is probably not like the greatest angle to show everything, but I feel like this shows like the nicer part of the room, aka my corner of the room. This is a shared space, so I got my wife's desk here, my desk here, and my son's area over there. He's currently watching cartoons. Don't worry about that. Let's start with the aquarium. All right, so first up we got the aquarium. I got this aquarium, I'd say maybe like 2.5, 3 months ago, and it's been great. I just added the driftwood to the tank yesterday. If you're wondering how much I paid for this driftwood, leave what you think in the comments below. I'm about to give y'all the big drum reveal, and that is exactly nothing. When I tell you I didn't pay anything for this driftwood, I actually am telling the truth. So if you're like anything familiar with like aquascapes, terrariums, or anything like that, maybe you use driftwood for like art or plant displays, you already know that it can go for like 15 bucks on the low end for like a tiny little piece, all the way up to like $60+ for a giant piece like this. And I've been wanting to get some driftwood for the tank ever since I first got the tank. For the longest I was using like the cheap turtle dock. I absolutely hated that thing. It looked terrible. It did its job till now at least, but I just was not a real big fan of it. I thought about it like so I live near a lot of water, and I'm always delivery driving to areas that are either on the water or like very close. So I went over this bridge where there's like a local pier, and I just kind of walked along the coast, and I might insert a picture of like where I was. I didn't take no video because, you know, I don't always want to make everything content. Sometimes I kind of want to just be in the moment. I was walking, I didn't see anything good, so I get in my car, I'm about to leave, and I'm in my car, I'm headed out, and I notice like this giant piece of driftwood right here, and I'm just like, bro, that looks great. I get out, check it out. It's filled with like ants and like some kind of like arthropods or just whatever the freak. They look like roly-polies, but they're like this big and they move super fast. And I mean, it's just filled with this. So I get all that out, and I'm about to leave, and I get out my car again under the bridge this time, and I see like a couple more pieces. I got like one more other piece that's like this big, but there's no need to put all of that in here. It's a 29-gallon tank. I just put in here what I thought worked the best, and so far I would say like it looks phenomenal. I don't know if I got any pictures of the tank with the old setup, but man, this is like a world of difference. This is a turtle tank. I got 2 turtles in this tank. I got Nostradamus and Socrates. If you know those names, you know those names. The 2 turtles I got a yellow belly slider, which he's right up here, right under the grow light, you know, basking in his glory. Then I've got wait, no, this is Socrates. I think I called him Nostradamus. And then we got Socrates down here swimming. I don't know if you can see him. So he is a pink belly slider, and I did a little research on species mixing. It's not always the most ideal thing to do, but I think it is a little bit easier to do early on. At least they get along very well. There's no fighting. The biggest issue might be that this guy grows faster and he eats a lot more than this guy. I've noticed that the pink belly slider, Nostradamus, he prefers to eat his food like on the ground, like whatever he finds along the bottom. Socrates is like right at it the moment it falls out the bottle. I mean, like, it's a wonder he's not over here right now swimming against the tank ready to eat, because this man, even though his name is Socrates, this man is a certified big bag. I got them at the same time. They're around the same age as hatchlings. They're about the same size, and he's already almost twice the size of Socrates. So Nostradamus, what the freak, bro? I keep getting them mixed up, but he's almost twice the size of him. So that's something I do got to keep in mind. I might at one point have to either separate their tank or definitely upgrade to a bigger size, which I do plan on doing at some point anyways. This tank was only like for like the early like first year until, or if he gets big enough, then, you know, I just go to a bigger tank. But this tank was always temporary. But so far so good. The driftwood looks great. The setup and everything is just really nice. It's just great. All right, next I got my plant shelf. It's not doing too great, honestly. It's the winter time, and we tend to keep it pretty cold in our room. So the fact that it's getting colder outside, plus the fact that it's cold as freaking here, a lot of the plants are not doing too hot. I think we got this calathea. Yeah, this was a plant that my wife really wanted, and yeah, it's not really doing too hot. It's not dead. It's okay. I think the thing that's really got to this plant was like the spider mites. This isn't like a full plant tour or nothing like that. I just kind of wanted to show what this whole area is over here. Y'all remember this elbow that I told you I got for like $60 if you saw my painting video. If you haven't seen that video, go watch it, please. And as you can see, like they've made massive progress. Like this leaf, like I said, it's gonna be like real white with some green, probably a lot like how this leaf was here. And this leaf is definitely gonna be much more green, but still have some white, probably like this leaf. Just overall, man, I still feel like that was such a good deal to get that for $60. I mean, you can't beat that. Yeah, this is a Monstera Stanleyana that I got hanging on the shelf. Honestly, I did not like this plant at first, but it really did grow on me. Monsteras really are like my favorite genus of plants, and this thing, like, it lets you know when it needs water because the leaves will start to curl up like that, which I really appreciate because that's how I know it's usually watering day. And then I got a Monstera Adansania. It wasn't doing too hot. I had it in the window. It's definitely like pushing out some better leaves than my other ones, because the other one, like the one that's on my desk here, it's pushing out like real tiny leaves, as you can see, which it looks really good. It's got hardly any browning at all, but the leaves are all very like small. And this one's pushing out like bigger leaves, but the leaves are browning. So I kind of moved it right here because I felt like it'll do a little better. I want it to kind of trail over into the aquarium a little bit, not too much because I don't want turtles to decimate it. Down here you can kind of get a better look. So I wish I made this video a little sooner because I have a lot of alocasias, about 4 or 5 in total, and they were doing phenomenal, but I've been dealing with some spider mites, and as you can see, this is an Alocasia cuprea red, I think, or red secret, something like that. It was flourishing. It probably had about 8 or 9 leaves. It needs a repot, of course, because you can see like it should be buried up to here. It's not, which it was in worse condition when I bought it, and it's trying to come back. But man, these spider mites have really been like tearing me up lately. And as you can see, you know, this one, he's suffering too. This is my Alocasia black velvet, and I noticed that the spider mites are really only affecting my velvety plants and the calathea, like I mentioned earlier. I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure something out about that. If y'all got any tips and tricks for that, let me know, because I ain't spend all this money for nothing. Last on my grow shelf, I just wanted to show real quick, was like my grow bins. So a lot of my propagations, I tend to put them in this grow bin. This is just a bunch of neon pothos, nothing really special. And I also use my grow bins for like rehabilitating old plants as well, or quarantining if need be. I need to clean them out. That's one thing I've been kind of slacking on, is just my plant care all in all. Which, if y'all want a full plant tour, I have no problem like going through each of the plants that I have. I don't really have too many. I like the collection that I have, and I feel like that's what matters most. This is she's new. She ain't even supposed to be in here. If you're looking for like a low maintenance plant, I highly recommend getting a pothos. They're really cool. They can get really big if you put them on moss poles or just something to climb up. They can stay relatively small. They're good for terrariums. They can be on top of aquariums. I don't know what you can't do with a pothos. It's just a great easygoing plant. They're cheap. There's all kinds of like variations if you like variegation. It's just a very easygoing plant. What's not an easygoing plant is this freaking thing. If anybody recognizes this, you know what this is. And if you don't recognize this, this is called a peace lily. And I don't know why they call it that, because there's absolutely nothing peaceful about this plant. It's not a pest magnet, so it's got that going for it. But what it is an absolute drama queen. It loses leaves and flowers and flops over and dies like there is no other option besides, I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, it's a nice piece of foliage, don't get me wrong. This is like the 3rd or 4th one we had, and maybe it's our fault. Maybe we're just not good with peace lilies, but I mean, I'm not that bad with plants. Like this thing, man, it's just super dramatic. So if you get one, just keep that in mind. It's not going to keep those flowers forever. Or, I mean, if you know what you're doing, don't freaking listen to me. But if you don't know what you're doing, then you're probably a lot like me. It's gonna, like, it won't die, but it's very dramatic. It definitely lets you know when it wants water, because it doesn't just like get little curly leaves. It just lays down like it's dead. A lot of the time you can get them on discount as well, because a lot of stores think that they're dead because they're either over or underwatered. If they're overwatered, they might actually die. But underwater, they're fine. Freaking pick it up, take it home, put some water on it. It'll look just like this the very next day. One of my favorite plants that I do have though is this Summer Glory. I freaking love this thing. I think it's a really cool plant. And last on the plant fridge, call it that because obviously there's plants on the fridge, is this thing. I don't know what this is, but whenever its leaves pop out, they're like a super deep red. It's like the color of this red, but almost like more vibrant in a way. It is a really cool plant. If you know what this is, let me know in the comments because I don't. All right, so next on the list, this is the area that I probably spend the most time in, which is what I call my corner of the room. This is my desk. This is where I do a lot of my work. As y'all know, I do a lot of pixel art. I only just recently got back into painting. What's funny? But yeah, I only recently just got back into painting. But this is my desk. I like to keep it like neat, clean, minimal. Some people might look at my desk and say, yeah, that's not minimal, you got too much stuff on it. To me, I'm gonna just say that minimalism is just having what you need. It's not always just a bare minimum of keyboard and mouse. It's not minimalism, that's a disorder. But I got my keyboard and mouse. I think they call it a mini pad. I can't remember what it's called. It's a M-Wave. It's nothing special. I just got it off of Temu. This is the camera I just used in my last video. I don't know what brand this is. I just borrowed it from my uncle. I wanted to give it a shot. It's decent. Something I've been thinking about making a video on is illustrated journaling because it's been such a helpful and impactful thing in my life. If y'all would like to see that, definitely let me know. I really love journaling. I'm not going to get too much into it. You can see it's all just a bunch of like just writing and things of that nature. I really do use this journal a lot. It has really made some really strong impacts on my life. So like I said, if you want to see a video on that, definitely let me know. This is the other Adansonia I got. These are a couple like enclosed terrariums that I made. They are self-sustaining. This thing I've had this for probably around like 6 months now. It's just some ferns and moss that I got from outside. And this is my statue of the Buddha. If you don't know, I've been Buddhist, I would say, for about going on 4 or 5 years now. I think I became Buddhist around like 2020, and that's definitely been another one of those things that have really just helped me out a lot in my life. So I'm not trying to convert you or nothing like that. It's not a religion, it's just a way of life. You do you. I almost forgot to mention this thing. This is a Halloween thing I got from the Dollar Tree. It's one of my neon pothos in this like plastic jar of water, and I don't know why, but this thing has built up like no algae, so maybe the fact that it says poison is the reason why, but it hasn't killed this plant, so I don't know. Also, this is the ukulele you just saw me with. That's the Grinch. Nothing special, just my dude. I got like 3 cats. There's Duty chilling in front of the little space heater because he enjoys the way the heat feels. Like I said, I love art. Music is one of those things that I actually do. I do practice this thing quite a bit, not as much as I used to. I also play trumpet, saxophone. I play ukulele. This is a baritone ukulele, so if you want like a mix of a guitar and that Hawaiian sound, go for one of these because it's tuned to the bottom 4 strings of the guitar, I believe. I can't remember though. It's either the top 4 or the bottom 4. Up next, I got my plant corner. This is where I like to do like a lot of meditation, or if I take the time to like read manga, or I just want to kind of just chill on the floor. You know, I just sit my booty butt on this mat right here and I just kind of just relax it out. Like I say, it's not a whole plant tour, but I am going to show y'all like a couple of things that I really like over here. This fiddle leaf fig, I've been wanting one so bad, and I finally got it, and it was going strong, but I watered it maybe about 2 months ago, and I don't think I overwatered it. I think the problem is when I watered it, it was outside. I brought it inside where it's cold, and it could not like get the moisture out of its root system fast enough. So it shed, I would say, about 80% of its leaves. I mean, like this thing was full with leaves from the bottom of this stem all the way up. You wouldn't even be able to see out the window right now. It's definitely seen better days, but I caught the root rot just in time. As you can see, these leaves have been going strong. It hasn't lost a leaf in I'd say about a good 2.5, 3 weeks now. So I'm glad. Plus I got this thing on sale. Like these are going for like $120 at Lowe's. I've seen some people sell them for $200 just for a tall stick. I got this thing for 50% off, so I only paid like $60, $70 after tax. So I'd say I got this for a good deal. Monstera deliciosa over here has seen better days. It's splinted up because one of the cats freaking chewed it, and it's been going strong for about 4 months now, but it's about time, I guess, that this leaf started to slowly die off. But as you can see, it is pushing out new leaves. So one of the things I have to show you though is this freaking money tree that I got. So you can't see that from here. I'll show y'all some close-ups. Money trees like this one was $40. But a money tree that's variegated usually goes for, I mean, just for like a starter, which has been grafted, goes for anywhere from like $175 to $300, and for a large variegated money tree, it can easily go for $500, $600, $700 variegated, and that's if you can even find one. I found this thing at Lowe's. I went hunting for variegated plants, and I almost gave up because it started raining. You know, I had the baby and my wife in the car. I was like, dang, it's raining. I don't know if I want to go to any more Lowe's. We went to one Lowe's that's near the house. We didn't see it. I was like, you know what? Something's telling me let's go to the Lowe's. That's like 10, 15 minutes away. So we go there. We're looking around, and right as I'm about to give up on searching, I come across this money tree, and I notice that it's got variegation, and I'm just like, it is just the most shocking and mind-blowing. I'm still to this day, I'm still blowed at the fact that I actually found this thing. I mean, to find a variegated money tree this big, not all of the leaves are variegated, but you can definitely see which ones are. They kind of start out with like this aurea yellowish green color, and then they eventually go for more like an elbow look. Like it's crazy, man. I know I'm talking about this plant a lot, but this is probably, outside of the monsteras that I got, this is easily like my favorite plant that I have today, because I've been wanting a variegated money tree for a while, and like I said, they're expensive, but to find this, and I got it 50% off. I finessed the lady. I was just like, hey, look, the leaves are kind of like sunburnt, which they actually were. I was like, you think I can get a discount on this? She was like, the best I can do is 50% off. I'm not complaining. You're not gonna see me over there like, I don't know. And I went for it, and man, I'm glad I did. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this, don't be afraid to take opportunities. Don't be afraid to just ask questions. The worst they can say is no. Say, hey, can I get a discount on this? Yay or nay. If you got a reason why you should get a discount on it, that's all the better. If they say no, I mean, they say no. It is what it is. Either buy it or you don't. Hey, last but not least, I got my art section. So like I say, I recently just got back into painting. I used to paint a lot as a kid. It's a lot cheaper to paint nowadays than it is like back then, even though it's not that long ago, don't get me wrong. Freaking, this is my art corner. I love this space. I haven't done any paintings in like the past like 2.5, 3 weeks. This was the last thing that I did up here, which there is a full video of me doing this, I think I was talking about comparison in that video, which go check that out if you have not seen that video. If you have seen that, I really do appreciate you for that. This is my lava lamp. I love this thing. I love like that champagne rose gold pink that it's got going on. It gives me that like retro vaporwavy feel to it. It's not on right now because the bulb went dead in it, and I've noticed they go dead pretty fast because all the light bulbs I got in here, and I've already changed this bulb out twice. I wish I would have went ahead and had it changed out before this video, so that way you guys can kind of get the vibe and see what that's like. But it is what it is, man. Whenever I do the updated video tour, maybe y'all will get to see that then, but it is what it is. You know, this is where I got all my paints at. Like I mentioned in one of my other videos, a lot of these paints, I got these for doing nail art. I also got a nail art page. I'll link that in the description, and I'll also put that up on the screen. Here's the Male Nail Tech. Go check that out. I haven't been on there in a little bit, but as you can see, I'm getting back in my mojo. I'm working on it. This is my wife's Dracana. I know everybody calls this bamboo, and I mean, it is bamboo, but it is a Dracana. It's the same thing as this plant over here. This is my Dracana. Just like it's the same genus, I think, like different species. I don't know if I'm saying that right. If y'all want to see any more painting videos, definitely let me know, because I'm always down to start painting. It's just a matter of like recording it or not. It's just I'm rambling. What the freak? All in all, man, it's not really too much for me to go on about. What I will say is this thing right here. My wife told me, she was like, hey, the neighbor down the street is moving out, and they just threw like some furniture out, and she noticed this, and I just walked down there, looked at it, was like, yeah, this looks good. Picked it up, walked all the way back to the front of the house, checked it for like bugs, and then, you know, final inspection, I brought it in, and this has been the new the new temporary art thing. I could put some like paints in these drawers. I could probably do a lot with these, but I just kind of keep everything up here because it works out pretty well. This is my water cup. It's just a freaking plant pot. I freaking hate these pots. I have like 3 of these because they came with some of the plants that I bought. I hate these pots. I think they look ugly, and they're too tall. They're supposed to be like self-watering, bottom watering pots. I don't utilize that feature anyways. They're just too tall to put on my shelves, and they're easy to knock over. I just use it for a straight water cup, and that's it. My paint palette fits perfectly over the top without sliding off. I don't freaking know. Anyways, I'm not gonna ramble too much longer, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I do want to leave this video on one note. What took me so long to make this video personally was, like I said in the beginning, I'm thinking, oh, I need to have a bigger house. I need to have a better apartment. I need to have better furniture. I need better plants. I need more artwork on the wall. I also need to just stop overthinking everything and just create with what I have. You know, be grateful for what I do have in my life. You know, count your blessings. And that's something that I'm trying to really do. So if you got any ideas that you want to do, but you're not doing it because you feel like you don't have the right stuff, if you want to do YouTube, you got a phone, just use your freaking phone. You want to make gaming videos, but you don't have a way to record it, freaking hold the phone up to the screen. It might not be the best thing, but you never know. You might find a way to make that work where somebody else could make that work, and now you've got your whole new thing. If you want to bake pies, but you don't have the fanciest ingredients, all you got is cheap, all-purpose Walmart brand flour, freaking use that. Use whatever it is you got to start. Don't think that you need the best, the most expensive stuff in order to get started with something. Just utilize what you got now and count your blessings. Be grateful for what you got. And when you do get the things that you've always dreamt of and wanted, take the time to be thankful for that. Because for me, I wanted so many of these plants in here, and then now that I have them, I'll sometimes forget I got them, and I'm thinking, oh, I still need this, I still need that. Like, I'm moving the goalposts. Don't keep moving the goalposts, you know what I mean? Just think about what you got, appreciate what you got, and move on with that. So many of the plants in this room I have wanted. So many of these, so much of my computer equipment I've wanted for years, and I finally have all that stuff. And I keep moving the goalposts for myself, and that's just not fair. There's no sense in me striving to achieve my goals if my goals are always going to keep running from me. It's one thing to run to your goals and reach them. It's another thing you run to your goals and they run away from you. Don't do that to yourself. Anyways, man, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I enjoyed talking to y'all for the past however long this video was. My son is talking up a storm. You know, he's making his video, I'm making my video. That's all that matters. I know, right? On that note, man, I don't really have too much else to say. Just love yourself. Tell somebody in your family that you love them. I hope y'all have a blessed rest of your week, and I'll see y'all in the next video, whenever that might be. Good night, y'all.
Yeah.